Today we're going to be talking about what just might be the perfect lever gun. How's it going, guys? And welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. My name is Chad and this is the Hopeful Homestead. You're out here right now with me in my little campsite next to my tiny cabin on wheels out here on my family's 21-acre property that we're going to be calling the Hopeful Homestead, that we're building our forever home on here over the next year. Farmhouse with a little barn and a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be awesome. But in this series of videos, I like to sit out here, drink a cup of coffee, and talk to all the husbands and dads out there about all the difficult things in life as we're just trying to make it through. And as we so often do on this channel, we're talking about firearms again today. And more specifically about this particular rifle, this lever action rifle, and why I think it just might be the perfect lever gun. That is good coffee. Without any further ado, I'm gonna show you the rifle. I keep it in this leather scabbard. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, yes, this is the same rifle and same scabbard from the camping guns video. Go check that out if you haven't already. I describe all the guns I use while I'm out here camping. But today we're specifically talking about this, the Rossi R92 Stainless, 20-inch rifle chambered in .45 Colt. And some of you might be saying, are you nuts? Rossi is the perfect lever gun. Here's my case for it. I have owned many lever guns at this point, from Rossi, from Henry. And specifically, I'm going to ruffle plenty of feathers out there in saying that I personally believe that the Rossis have a better action than this Henry. I know Henrys are famous for having a butter smooth action, supposedly, but all I can say is that the lever on a Henry feels way cheaper. I don't know what it is. It just feels thinner. The rotation of the motion, there's a ton of wobble in it. It just doesn't feel like a high quality lever. I had one and it just did not cycle well. It would jam surprisingly a high amount of times. And this thing has never jammed on me. This thing, it is an unloaded gun, but this thing has just a perfect butter smooth, very nice action and a very good trigger. As I do with all my lever guns when I get them at brand new, I sit the first night and just rack the action repeatedly. I put a little bit additional gun oil inside of the moving parts of the gun, and I just rack and rack and rack to smooth out the action. I do that with everything that I get, and this thing is just worn in really nicely. And being that it's stainless, I don't have to worry about it. It's one of the factors why I think this is the perfect lever gun. It's, you know, being a stainless form factor here in South Florida, you get a lot of humidity and moisture in the air. And being this thing is stainless, you know, you don't have to worry about that moisture, you know, hurting the firearm as much. I can know that I can carry this and rely on it for years and years to come, decades to come, as one of my farm rifles. This is my favorite rifle I've ever owned. Like I said, I love the action on it. It's very smooth. Being that it's a lever gun, I can, you know, and it's .45 Colt, I can share ammo with my pistols that I'm carrying, which is extremely useful. Being on a homestead out here, I can carry one sidearm and one rifle that share ammo, so I don't have to worry about any of the difficulties of carrying different sets of ammo. And this can fire the lighter cowboy action loads that the revolvers can handle, my single action army clones. That also results, especially coming out of a 20-inch rifle, those are subsonic pretty much, where you don't have to worry about hearing protection that much. You know, yes, if I'm out target practicing, I'm going to be wearing hearing protection so that I'm not purposefully damaging my ears with repetitive shooting. But in an instant where I'm out here and I've got, you know, a wild hog coming up on me while I'm doing farm work, or coyotes, or, you know, snakes or whatever, I can deploy this firearm, which happens more often than you think out here on the property. Our property bumps up to a 22,000 acre wildlife preserve with gators, wild boar, panthers, coyotes, bobcats, the occasional black bear. I mean, snakes. There's an endless amount of things that wander onto our property that I have to deal with. And, you know, a 20-inch barrel, you know, your good long sight radius here between the front and rear sights. So if you can get a really good sight picture with the front gold bead and the rear buckhorn sights, this thing is incredibly accurate. And with being able to hold 10 rounds, that's plenty of ammunition right here loaded up in the rifle. And .45 Colt, like I said, I can, if I'm choosing to go hunting intentionally and I can wear some hearing protection, I can put some heavy load .45 Colt in here. That's pushing, you know, 44 Magnum levels, and, you know, you're obviously getting a heavier, bigger bullet out of that. That's incredibly useful from a utilitarian perspective, being able to have different loads of ammunition for this that can be shared with your pistol, but also specific loads that the pistol can't handle can be loaded into this to be able to shoot flatter, longer distances with a real heavy bullet. You know, to where you're pushing out 100, 200 yards, being able to shoot a 250, 300 grain bullet pretty flat if you're using some, you know, some of that heavy outdoorsman buffalo bore ammunition. They make it in .45 Colt as well. And that packs a huge punch coming out of a 20-inch barrel. So I love that about this gun. This being the perfect lever gun in my opinion, it's got a reliable, smooth, high quality feeling action, and it never jams. Obviously any gun can jam. I'm not saying that it's never going to, but this, so far in my practice, target practicing out here and just shooting it, carrying it, it has not jammed on me once. Partially being the fact that 45 Colt is a fat round that is gonna have a harder time, you know, being fed up from the tube into the chamber and getting jammed. Something like a 22 long rifle in this form factor jams a lot easier because it's a skinnier bullet that can, you know, move around and get stuck, whereas 45 Colt doesn't have any problem jamming in this. I'm an iron sights guy. I prefer iron sights. So for me, a lever gun with iron sights that are adjustable for elevation here, you know, and the front being adjustable for windage, you know, it's just a really great rifle. And also being that it's all stainless steel and wood, it's gonna last for a long time. It's gonna last for decades. I don't have to worry about cleaning it too much. You know, obviously I'll keep it lubed up real well, the internal parts working, and on rare occasion open it up to clean it a little bit, but for the most part, you know, just run a bore cleaner through the barrel of this, and you know, it's just going to be running like it's supposed to without much maintenance. And that's one of the great reasons a stainless lever gun is awesome. And when you consider all that, the fact that this gun is only like $700 to $800, that's a pretty good price point for a quality built firearm that is accurate, a very accurate rifle, and that is gonna last for decades to come. That's one of my things I don't like too much about polymer-based modern guns, is that I don't envision those things lasting 40 years, you know, like something like this would. You know, the wood and steel, the soul that you get in a rifle like this just makes you excited to take it out and shoot it, to hold it in your hands and carry it. It feels like you've got something meaningful in your hands, and I just love that about lever guns. And so for the price point you pay for this, you're getting a high quality firearm that's incredibly accurate and very reliable and really well built for a really good price. And that's one of the reasons I like this particular lever gun from Rossi. It's never done me wrong, and it was not that expensive to buy. And before we close this video out, I'm gonna give you a close-up look at the business end of that barrel right there. Just look at that thing. All business right there, 45 caliber rifle. And as you can see, looking at this firearm, the fit and finish is just unparalleled. It is a beautiful, beautiful gun. Every part of this thing is just high quality, really nice rosewood stock and furniture on this thing. Nice stainless butt plate there. You're not getting some cheap piece of plastic. It is just really well made. I mean, really well made. Every part of this is just a beautiful, beautiful gun. Beautiful gun. But all right, guys, let's have one more sip of coffee here, and I will bid you adieu. Thanks for watching all the way through. If you did, I appreciate you being here. Again, my name is Chad. This is the Hopeful Homestead. And if you feel like sticking around, I got a video right here breaking down all of the camping guns I use. This is from that set of guns. Go check that out, and I'll see you over in that video. Thanks for watching, guys.